What is going on, guys? It is back here. It is JJ here, back with another banger video. In today's video, we will be discussing the fates of one of the members of the Seven, which I think is one of the more interesting ones. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the origin, and we will talk about his story, his backstory, and how he got, how he actually got into the Seven. We are going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video. If you do enjoy these videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below, and tell me if you're excited for season 2. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright. So the origin story starts. He was the Cube King. He was working for the last reality. He was a Cube King. And their plan was to destroy all reality as their name implies. How they were going to destroy all reality. And yeah, that's what the last reality does, As their name implies, they want to be the last reality standing with only corruption. And the Origin was part of that group. That terrible, awful group. He was part of it. But then he realized that what the last reality were doing was not normal. What they were doing was terrible. He realized that the last reality wanted to destroy the whole world and only have them standing. A world of corruption and pain. So, once he realized this, he fled. He didn't last long before the imagined order captured him. So, they captured him, they held him prison. But there's another interesting fact. He managed to escape and he ran to the Seven to join them and save reality once and for all. And he was going, to save the day. He was the, kind of like the enforcer of the Seven. That's where his story begins. So, after this, chapter 1, they sort of go off, fight. Well, the Origin didn't join the Seven in chapter 1. He joined them in around chapter 2 at the end. But he wasn't in the ending chapter 2 live event. He was not there. Wow. He was not there at that live event. I think this video is going to be a short one because the Origin, there is not much to talk about because the story is really short. He ran all of this. And there are theories right now that are saying that the Origin is, that the Dark Voyager is actually the Origin. Let me explain. So, after we held off the last reality by flipping the island, the Seven sanctuary was exposed. What did they do? They protected the island. I mean, sure. And the next step was a war against the imagined order. As of right now, the only members of the Seven who were here were the Foundation, the scientists, and the Visitor. Little did we know, they weren't gonna be the only ones joining in this fight. Doctor Strange comes from another universe where he brings along the origin. Finally, the origin. And he also brings with him one of the sisters, one of the most important members of the Seven, the Imagined. The Order joined in the battle. But there was still one member missing with no hope of getting her back, the Parrot. But when they investigated the Ice Moon, I think that this was at the end of chapter 2, I'm not really sure. I think it was. Or in the Zero War, right? When the Foundation... No, it was before they went to war with the other. Okay. So, yeah, they found the Ice Moon, and they had found that the men had crashed onto the Ice Moon. The Seven simply thought that she was dead because the conditions were simply way too unstable for her to survive there. But, days later, it reveals a dark secret. A Parrot comes to the Seven, the Foundation meeting her with grief. And they were furious with the Paragon. But eventually she explained, and they all went to be the Seven all over. All the members of the Seven, they took down the Imagined, or they destroyed them. Unfortunately, this came with the unfortunate loss of the Imagined. I already discussed the Imagined space in, my previous video. If you do want to know more about the Imagined and her story, make sure you go and check that video out. So yeah, it was all sunshine and rainbows. Or was it? Someone decided to take over the island. Who is it? Who was it? What? Oh, I slipped. Uh-oh. That's right, the Herald roamed the island and consumed part of the island. But the Seven can fight this off, right? Well, not exactly. Basically, half of the Seven got home, but they lost them again. But this time, it was even more important members that we lost. We lost the Visitor. We lost the Scientist. We lost the Scientist, bro. The Scientist. He is arguably the most important one of the group. And we lost. Not only did we lose them two, but we also lost the Orc. I would call the Enforcer of the Seven. With this tragic loss, you would think that the other members of the Seven would be there to help her. Right? Well, no. They didn't. Because they couldn't. First off, the other three members of the Seven were in an unknown place. When the Foundation and Jonesy threw themselves into the 0.5 Jenna, only to find that he was already dead. Looks like they stayed there. But how? Well, that's what we can discuss. The Foundation really stayed there. Looks like he got caught. He was he escaped, but the problem was he didn't know how to go back. Jonesy managed to go back before anything even happened to him. And as for the order, she was on the same boat as the foundation, an unknown place without a way to leave. So it was over. Only the Paradigm managed to escape, and he was with the and she was with the Origin, the Visitant, and the Scientist when they got cloned. So, what was left? As we talked about, Imagine sadly died in the arms of her father. May she rest in peace. Jen died along with her. There they both jumped in after the Imagined threw Jenna into the 0 point. Since the 0 point was across realities, they disintegrated, turned it to dust. And it was a really sad moment, man. I know I wouldn't want to experience anything like that. So, yeah. But the question is, where did the origin go? After he got cloned, there was no trace left of him. There was only trace left of the scientist. So where did he go? People are saying that he got corrupted and turned into the Dark Voyager that we know now. But wasn't it wasn't like the Origin is very smart. He would know what to do. But looks like the heroes couldn't win this time. The heroes of the island eventually fell. And that's where the Origins story ends. Thank you all so much for watching this video. This was a bit of a short, actually, this one was a bit of a short one. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. See if you're excited about season 2. Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for making it to the end. Have a great rest of your day.